In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to ink up your project. I have my ink. This ink is a little on the watery side compared to the printing ink you used in drawing one when you did the relief printing. I have another piece of plastic. You know, if you have like an old bank card or credit card, you can chop up. If you don't have one of these, or you forgot it, or I forgot it, you can use that. Otherwise, you have that, and I have my piece that I worked on. Now, I want to make sure I'm on the side that I scratched. So here's that side, and I'm going to put this ink down on top of here. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down some extra paper so I don't mess this up too much. So I'm going to grab that right here. So some scrap paper would work. And next I'm going to ink it up. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to reach in here, grab some of this, and take this back and forth. Now, you want to try not to put too much on, and your goal is to mainly get it, your goal is to get it inside those grooves that you scratched out. And that's why going in and making sure that you scratched hard is super, super important when you do this. Obviously, I'm going to get some paint on or some ink, I should say, on the board over here. That's fine. Going right up to the edge. You probably will get some on your hand. It is water soluble, so you're okay. And then when we're done with this, we got to take off the stuff that's not sitting in the grooves. So I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. Like I just said, you're going to get your hands a little dirty on this. I should preface, and I'll show you this in a little bit, I do have my strip of paper soaking in water right now, because the water, you have to use a damp piece of paper when you transfer your print over so it pulls the ink back out. Okay, so this is all done. I'm going to set this off to the side. And now my next part is to take either newspaper or like a harder paper towel. I don't think I would use tissue paper or toilet paper because I feel like it's a little on the soft side, because you don't want to take all the ink off. You still want to be able to take as much as you can, but you want to make sure you still leave those whites. So this takes a little bit because I want to go in and just gently take this ink off. And the paper that I'm using at school is the paper towel that you use, when you wash your hands, and that's fine. So I'm gonna grab a little bit more. This is a little on the meticulous side. And it'll take some practice. You have multiple sheets to be able to do this. You're not, unless you're amazing, you're not going to get this on your first one. And more than likely, you probably will take too much ink off the first time. Or I should say, now that I said that, you're probably going to not take enough off. I'm almost there. And this is a small piece. Your other one's, only like a 5x7 or something like that. So it's not like it's a massive piece. There's people that make, huge ones. This would take a while. It's important to get those whites. I will have, because I have ink on this piece of paper, I will have to see if I can clean that up. Spend a little more time on this side. Was heavily scratched, so this should be, almost black. But I still have some white specks in there, so I'm trying to make sure I get those. Do it one more time, and then I think we're going to call it good. Yep, and see I got some ink on my hand. It's not that big a deal. Good. Next, I just want to make sure that I have this back clean. It's not super important, but it's just nice to have that clean. Okay, so this is all set. So the next step I want to do, I'm going to set this off to the side, is I'm going to grab my newspaper. because you need something like this. I mean, you could use paper towel again if you want. But I'm going to take the watercolor paper out of where I have it. And it's too wet right now. So I want to dab it dry. So I just fold this over. You know, this is just like from the reminder. So anything you kind of normally get in the mail that everybody should be getting, that would work. I mean, you could take a piece of scrap paper as well and use that. Now what I want to, I'm not sure if you can see it on here, but it's still kind of pooly of water. Like I can see like a pool of water. So I'm going to take this, slide this over into a dry area and do that again. And that one's better. And I'm gonna do it one more time. And I'm sure that's good. Okay. Hello. This video is for me to show you how to use our press for the dry point project. We do have two different presses. I do try to keep this one separate in the 3D lab there. So, so they're drawing one, students don't accidentally use this because this roller is set at a much lower height to be able to fit a piece of plastic in and do a press that way. Okay, so it's important that you make sure you grab the right one. So first off, I want to make sure that this bed is in the right location. Right now it's in the wrong location because when somebody presses, they have it come on this side and we just want to make sure that we pull this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wheel this back. Should easily come. If you notice, I have tape on these so we don't move anything. I've already had this adjusted so that it's taped in place. I'm gonna bring this up. Good. Now I have the bed almost fully extended. I still have a couple inches on this side. I'm gonna open the bed up. At some point I might buy a new one of these because this was kind of printed upside down by a couple students already. But first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a scrap sheet of paper. I'm gonna set this down. This is not going to be printed on. It's just to keep our blankets that we have on here clean. Next, I already have my piece already inked up. So this is for this the same demonstration will be for your real project. I do want to make sure, because I've done the mistake myself, that the part that has the ink on it, all the scratches, need to be facing up. If it faces down, you're not going to print anything. I also want to get this kind of close to the inside of the bar. I can set it like this way. I don't think there's a big difference, but I'm just going to roll it this way because I know there's going to be more pressure on here. I want to get a nice clean print. I already have my paper. It was already soaked. I've already dabbed it with the newspaper. I'm going to take this and set this directly over top of this. And I'm going to try to make sure I don't move it. Drive the blanket down. Now I'm going to roll this back. Now I kind of feel right when it hit that plastic, it got a little harder to roll, which is good. Okay, it went all the way through. Open my blanket up. I'm going to take my full sheet of paper out, which I'm just going to be recycling it. And my print is right here. And I'll come up here so you can kind of see it. Trying to get it so the glare isn't. So this is a really good print. Because you're going to watch you might have watched the other video to the end of it in terms of hand printing it. You can see the vast difference in quality between this and the other one. Like in the other one, I was thinking, well, shoot, I should probably go back in here, and scratch it up. But now I look at it, it's like, actually, it's not that bad. I don't have any problems with it shifting around at all like you do hand printing it. So this would be like an A project. It shows me that you really understand you got to press hard, to get those deep lines. And then you do a little bit to get light, kind of a light gray, a middle gray, a dark gray, and then like your black. So you need to apply this on your project now in terms of how you actually work with it. So hang on to these, always hang on to your samples because they're worth points. Otherwise, if you want to, you can hang on to this or you can toss it. We don't need any more. It's just for you to understand the whole process from beginning to end. So when you jump in your project, you know what you're doing. It's just a reminder, you're going to be drawing your design out because it's going to be original on a scrap sheet of paper. And then you're going to put that paper behind the plastic that you're going to do. And when you do that, you want to make sure the words are backwards. Otherwise, you remember, everything is in reverse when you do printmaking. So it's really easy to do that. You don't have to do that in the initial drawing. You can take a photo of it, flip it on a computer program, reprint it off, and then you're good to go. Okay. Otherwise, let me know if you have any questions. Make sure all your stuff is cleaned up, and good luck on the project.